Hey, Earthkeepers. Just like I promised you in an earlier episode that if there were people who signed up and were interested, that we would do a test drive of the Carbon Collective investing website. As you know, Zach Stein, our guest, was talking about how easy it was for people to do it. Anyone could invest and any amount. So I thought we might as well test drive it and let you know how easy it really is. So we'll see. So this is my daughter. This is Kayra.
Hi.
And she is not doing this out of the goodness of her heart because I'm actually giving her $50 to invest. So yeah, so we'll start out. You are talk about yourself. What are you doing these days? Are you rich and wealthy woman?
Oh yeah, totally.
But she's a student, so yeah, doesn't have a lot of money, so she pinches pennies. But you also invest. You have investments, right?
Yeah. Why? Well, I want to actually be able to have the ability to choose what I want to do in life, which means in any way that I can save now, I do. So I budget myself and I live into that, broke student life. Even if I am making money and like working, I put as much as I can into savings and I invest as much as I can. Because in the long run, it's worth it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the stock market is, you're not investing in stocks, but in index funds at the moment. You get an IRA. So anyway, in theory, this Carbon Collective allows you to invest in the very same way. I'm telling you now what this is about because you need to choose. I want you to see if it appeals to you as a young broke student. Like, would you invest in this company? So what we're going to do is actually go to the site. She hasn't been there. I haven't been there either. So we're going to see right from the get-go how this works. So let me find it and then we'll share the screen. All right, so here is the screen. This is Zach. This is the guy I talked to. If you're interested in learning more about this, the podcast was really great. He taught me a lot about alternatives to investment that we're promoting green companies and green investment. So we're going to look at some of the basics of the site just so we review what this is about. So if you go down here, there's just like 3 points I'm seeing that Zach actually made in the interview. So divesting from companies. So like if you had investments in oil companies, for example, it looks like they say 85% of CO2 emissions from all publicly traded companies come from this 20% of the market. So I guess we get to see what all those are. Yeah, so all these companies are listed. So these companies are bad according to Carbon Collective. They want you not to invest in them. And that pressures them to change, apparently.
Well, if their competitors are making more, then it means that they would have to adapt in order to get into the same customer crowd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the second point is for fighting climate change through investment, they reinvest in companies that are solving climate change, not just passive, but actually working. So solar batteries, solar power, home insulation. They have 100 companies that are building solutions. So geothermal, LED, hydrogen, food waste, like all these companies are actually trying to solve a problem and make profit at the same time. Pretty good deal.
I do like that they have all of the information about the different companies on each, because I don't know what companies are good and bad and what they're doing. And it's way too much work for me to try and find that out when I'm just, trying to live as cheaply as possible. So this helps me know. And if I'm investing in it, then that means I'm going to want to support the companies when they apply to my life.
Well,
right.
Yeah. And actually it's something that the guy, Zach, said in the interview was that we're not just about giving you options to invest as alternatives, but we're an educational company too. So this is really good. Like you don't really get this, say, at Vanguard. Right. I mean, you could find this information, but here it is translated and put in order. And
I'm someone who's really picky about how things are organized, and I'm very visual in that. And the fact that everything is color coded and organized in clean columns and it's legible means that I'm interested in looking at this material and I don't have to work on finding and reading it.
Yeah.
So.
And there's things you wouldn't think about, like telepresence. What's that? A company called Audio Codes offers software and productivity solutions for virtual work environments, including network routing solutions. So like kind of like what Zoom is doing, is saving us from traveling, etc. So yeah, this is really good. I would like come back here and study this.
Yeah.
But since everyone's watching us and doesn't have hours and hours, by the way, there are thousands of people watching you.
Oh, great.
All over the
Thanks
world.
for telling me now that you've got me in front of the camera.
Okay. So the last thing is this gray column, as you call it, that 80% of the stock market could transition to use only clean energy, electric vehicles, and generally run CO2 free without changing their core business. So because we own the companies as investors, if there are people that organize the influence of our ownership and say to Starbucks, you got to stop doing this, right? Or else we're going to disinvest from you or divest from you.
Okay, so if everyone who had invested in Starbucks said you have to let all of your members be part of a union or we pull it, then it would actually force them to allow us or allow workers to.
Yeah, they don't want to. They don't want to lose their investors or their customers. So yeah. So I guess that's the third strategy, is making pressure on companies that are, not doing great but have the potential for change. I like that very much. Want to get started?
Yeah.
Right. We're going to unshare for a sec because she doesn't want to put her information. Go ahead. You don't want thousands of people watching you to be knowing your phone number and address.
I was just about to change it all,
Go for it.
Cool. Where are we? There we go. Okay. Now we need.
I like how they break down the steps instead of like a form to fill out.
Yeah.
They're walking you through things. How do you want your money invested?
Core, broadly. I do like that they have the breakdown of the risk reward, high or lower, what that is equivalent to.
Right. So
I think it makes it really easy to transition and speak their language. I don't know. It's not my money.
Well, and you're young, right? So I mean, you could probably be riskier because you will have this money invested over the longer term, unless you go withdraw it tomorrow and don't tell me.
I really need that $50 right now. Those textbooks, man.
Yeah. Well, it looks like, but yeah, which, I mean, you don't want safety net, right? But what are the other, broadly diversified or just climate solutions and green bonds? It's a higher risk, higher reward.
I want to know why it's a higher risk. Just because it's such a narrow field.
Fewer, right. It's fewer stocks and of a different kind. This would be more like the index 500 that you're invested in now.
I'm naturally more of a play it safe kind of person because I'm not in any rush.
I would say A then, right?
I clicked it. Yeah, I clicked A. We're good.
So you're saving.
Building wealth, I guess.
I think, yeah. Unless you're retiring soon.
Yeah, in the next 10 years, that's my goal. College, retirement, make it nice and fast.
How long until you expect to withdraw and use this investment?
Be nice 3 to 10 years. This would be a good smaller amount of money to withdraw for.
Okay.
The whole adulting thing. During our last market downturn.
So during the last market downturn, which you just we're in, what did you do with your investments at Vanguard?
I didn't check anything. I was like, that's fine.
So they have that, ignored it. Right. So that.
I made sure to invest initially when everything was a little bit lower.
Yeah, but I think
But-
that you were just on a regular, no matter what, every month you invested.
Yeah.
So I would say you ignored it. So they're saying that the core portfolio for you is 70-30. Does that seem right?
What's 70-30 mean?
It's the breakdown of the
Oh,
stocks that you're buying.
Moderately bold.
Yeah, so it talks about your risk now at this point.
Okay.
Moderately bold, that seems like you. Or bold. Sometimes you're very bold. Which would you rather do? I mean, you can go with the recommendations. Again, it's $50 and you can always come back and change it or buy more or what have you.
Well, if it's 3 to 10 years, what would you say in between B and C? You know me.
I would say C because you just talked about not being super high risk with money.
Like that makes me more comfortable choosing that one. I'll say that much.
Yeah, good.
Account type finally. Okay.
What kind of account? If you want to, well, I guess we'll find out what the options are. It's an individual. Do you want to open an IRA?
Don't want to open one. Can I connect it?
No, I mean, it just means they put it into an IRA that you'll have here. And I don't know if you're going to fill up your IRA amount this year. Probably not. So you could have 2 IRAs. One at Vanguard, one here.
Well, what's
General brokerage is taxable, right? You pay taxes on whatever you make on the money. Because you have room in your IRA allowance, that means anything you put in, you save tax-free.
oh, so I'm not taxed on my earnings
Right.
because I'm taxed on the money when it goes in, and once it's in, it's in.
What do we decide was your best IRA?
Roth,
Roth, okay,
because I'm not yet in a taxable bracket.
right, okay.
Account funding.
You're funding your account from a bank. Yeah, well, it'll give you the options. All right. Depositing cash. How'd you hear about us? Friend or famous person, influencer? That kind of like, I told you about this.
You're just so famous compared to me. I'm just a nobody.
I'd probably social media maybe is more accurate as an option. Yeah, podcast. Okay,
Yeah,
there you
I
go.
do listen to your podcast.
Give some love. Who recommended?
My dad. I'm
I
kidding.
think they want my name because they
Yeah.
want to send me money. You're not, but in case, Forrest is my name.
Really? I thought it was Dad Inslee.
Okay, what's next here? Amazing climate change solutions are being developed every day. We produce a regular newsletter that highlights the ones that inspire us. Can we share it with you? Because, well, it'll come to your email, so it's up to you. Totally up to you to say no.
I've got a lot coming my way with school, so
All right, so no. Screen retirement month. Press continue to let us know how you want to receive your bonus, but you're not doing this, so this could be a problem.
what do you mean?
I don't know. Well, let's see what the options are, right? I don't know what that means.
I think it's humor.
Okay. Upload a copy of your most recent statement.
Like pay stuff?
I know, that's the thing, is like it's making you.
I don't love
This-
this, but we're gonna.
You don't have a account to move. That's what it's asking you to do. So I don't know how you got stuck in this place. Yeah. So clearly the site has a glitch. So for everyone listening or watching, actually, I can add on to this a little bit later, but tomorrow we'll have to contact the company and say it led us to a place that we didn't want to go. So if we can get it to work, we will add to this video. If we can't, well, then we cannot recommend Carbon Collective. Yeah. So there you have it. A review so far. We'll keep you posted. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Can I eat my cheesecake?
Yeah. Oh, you're still recording now.
I don't care.
All right. Hey, Earthkeepers. I wanted to update you on our investment adventure with Carbon Collective. We actually, in the process, as you know, couldn't go forward with the investment because we hit this major snag. We wrote an email to them saying, you know, what's going on? We can't invest. And it turns out the very next morning, they got back to us, thanking us for finding a bug in the system. They had introduced kind of a new promotion for September, but that promotion was funneling everyone into a dead end. So they were grateful for our intervention and had set up, even by the time we talked to them in the morning, had set up an account for my daughter, Kayra. You know, would we recommend this? Well, in terms of ease of use, aside from the hiccup with the system, it was actually really easy. And as my daughter pointed out, it was really educational as well. They were helping us all along the way to understand what we were doing and why we were doing it. And we found plenty of resources to understand, you know, different avenues that we might want to pursue in terms of understanding what the different investments were and what are the things that Carbon Collective does with our money and with the influence of our owning pieces of companies. So we found it to be really, really democratic in that sense, and really helpful and easy to access. So, of course, the next question is, you know, Carbon Collective says that we're going to be making as much money as we would make in a normal index fund, say with Vanguard, which is actually where both of us have accounts. So only time will tell. We're going to watch this investment. It's just $50 in my daughter's account. So so we're going to assume that it matches the average of the index 500, but we will find out. And if it doesn't, we'll come back on and let you know. I wouldn't advise you to wait if you're thinking of investing in green funds. Maybe don't wait for us. I would say go ahead and check out Carbon Collective yourself. We trust it enough to say it's probably a good way to invest money. But if that turns out not to be the case, we'll absolutely let you know. All right. Well, thanks for having patience with our process and for listening to part 2.